Hey Retro Road Mappers, it's Mod Betty. I've got my little background music on and I need to figure out how to shut it off, but welcome. I'm doing this from my phone. If anybody's on right now, let me know. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit because, okay, Ben Vaughn, I love you. The musical love, but okay, good. Okay, all right, well maybe nobody's on yet. Oh, crap. I mean, hello, not crap, somebody's on. Here's my deal. I am broadcasting it. Mod Betty from Retro Roadmap broadcasting. Hey, Clint, nice to see you. I am broadcasting from inside the Hacienda, inside where we all should be. And I'm doing it from my phone today because when I looked at the video from my computer the other day, it looked all like pixely and stuff. What I was hoping to do was to be able to somehow look at the, oh, there we go. Maybe I'm muted there. I'm going to see if I can see the comments on my screen. Minnie Biggles, Marianne, hello. Or as we like to say, hey, Craig, nice to see you. Oh, it's weird. I'm seeing myself in the background. Very awkward. What I was just saying to people who are just tuning in now, Mod Betty from the Hacienda here on Thursday, March 19th, and experimenting with a few different ways to do this. This is from my telephone, well, not my telephone, my cell phone, which is the same thing, this way, just to see if it comes out maybe a little bit clearer. And, oh, good, I can see the screen. Oh, thank you. Minnie Biggles says, my hair looks great. Let me confide. I was supposed to get, just between you guys before everybody else shows up, I actually had a haircut scheduled for Monday. And since we had been in Florida last week, I thought it would be nice to my hair guy, Phil. Hey, Stacy. I thought it'd be nice to my hair guy, Phil, to cancel. So, and now everybody's pretty much on lockdown. So I was thinking about this, like every day I do these, if I do these again, my hair is going to get like taller and taller. And yeah, I may end up looking like, oh, I don't know, Cliff Hillis in the 1980s. So anyway, hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. I am so happy to be here for everybody, but also for myself. And I want to thank you all for tuning in, because here's the deal. I know how important it is for us to be all connected, but also for us not to go feral, like I say, during these crazy times. And I am saying I want to thank you all for tuning in to me, because you guys have already helped me today. So knowing I had to do this video today, I took a shower, which was important. And I also got dressed in real clothes, my idea of real clothes. And I even have, you can't see it, but trust me, I have shoes on. Now, I could have slippers on or whatever, but I actually have, like, if I needed to go outside and walk around, shoes on, I have that going on. And I don't know as if I would have done that had I not known that you guys were going to be here. This external accountability works for me. Maybe it works for you too. And so, hello. So I thought what we would do here is I actually made up like a little, not like an agenda, but maybe some structure around this so we all know what to expect. I'm trying to get better at this. I think it's a lot of fun. And so this is what I thought. I have a few kind of headers of things that I can talk to you about, but also what I'd love for you to do is if you have a question you want me to answer or something like that, put it in the comments, and then I'll have a little section where instead of me blabbing, I will read the comments, and sorry, I'm getting texts. I will read the comments, and I will answer your questions at the Q&A time. Now, I will say, some of you may have seen, we may have a special guest for a few moments. I'll call him in whenever it seems appropriate. So we may have a special guest today. And one thing I learned from this special guest, which is Retro Roadhusband Cliff Hillis, he's done a few of these, and he has done a few of these Facebook Lives. And here's a tip. So since I'm doing this from my phone, things are going to be backwards. So I thought I was going to be all cool and like do these little cards that said like, hello, until I realized that they were going to be backwards. So I took some time today and I made these cards and I wrote them backwards so you could actually see what it says. So, hello, Retro Road Mappers. That's Maud Betty who wrote backwards. So, here's the hello portion of the show. And then I thanked you. See, it was going to look like this. See, that doesn't make sense. So, it was going to say thank you, but because I knew Retro Roadhusband helped me to the fact that, oh wait, upside down, that it was going to be backwards on my phone. So, I wrote it all nice and, well, I wrote it so you could at least kind of read it. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making me get into real clothes and even put shoes on and take a shower, put on a little lipstick. Because here's the deal. It's kind of gray and rainy out, and with the news, I literally could easily be in my bathrobe, or my writing robe as I like to call it, for weeks. So this is the thank you portion of the show. So I thought what we would do is, let me see if I had any other thank yous. Oh, well, here's a funny thing. I wanted to say thank you again, so here, let me get my thank you. Wait, my thank you. I don't know if he's chimed in, but if he isn't. So some of you who tuned in on Tuesday, remember that I was talking about, oh crap, I can't hold this and do my hand gestures. I wonder if I can do this. Oh no, anyhow. So my friend Michael Kropp, who's an awesome guy, saw me telling everybody, and here's a tip for you, maybe you weren't here before, but that a nice 20-second hand washing thing is You Can't Roller Skate in a Buffalo Herd by Roger Miller. And Michael Kropp actually did one of those like wash your lyrics for me that has the lines of the song in it. If anybody's interested, what I thought I would do after this this video too is I will put links to anything that I talked about in the comments, because I think that way you can go back to the video and then I'll have like hyperlinks to stuff just so we can follow up. Hey everybody who's showing up, thank you so much. It's lovely to see you all. I feel a bit, I was just thinking about this. I feel a bit like, crap, what was her name? The woman on Romper Room, where she had like the mirror, the fake mirror, and it's like, hey Brian McCrone, I can see you. Hey Mom and Pam and Katie, I can see a text from you, so I love you all, but I'm gonna swipe you up. Mary Beth, it's nice to see you. Donna Fisher Wilhelm, I see you too. So thank you everybody for showing up here. That's the thank you portion of this section. So I thought we could do a few things. We'll talk about some retro roadmap things. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions for me, just put them in here. Miss Jean, yes, Miss Jean from Romper Room. And put any questions you want me to answer in the comments, and I promise I'll get to them. I'm going to try not to be too distracted by people kind of popping in, things like that, because I want to focus. But in the meantime, here's the section that, oh, hold on. There we go. This is the section I'm calling, yes, the Fav Foods for the Future section. I tend to love the alliteration. I joke that I'm an alliterer. And so the F's kind of did it for me. But this is the part of the show where I figured it would be fun to talk about the places that we all love and we want to go to, places that we love, states that we love, foods that we love there, because that seemed to be a big topic, and that we can plan on going to in the future. So I guess I'll hold this up the whole time. I don't know. So we're going to be talking about the state of Maine. I kind of wish I had a map of Maine right now. Pretend there's Maine. It's way up there in the easternmost part of the country. And there were a few things when I was looking at my Maine map that I really wanted to share with you. Some of you may already know them, but if you don't, these are the places that I would love to go to again, and also encourage you to go to when we're doing this. Let me see if I can do this. Sorry, just trying to get it all, all this technology. So talking about Maine. So one of my favorite places in Maine is called the Goldenrod Kisses. It is in York Beach, Maine, and it is an adorable little kind of lunch counter, like a place where like your grandmother would go with her cronies to go and have lunch, like a little crab meat salad or something. They don't even have fries. And then they have a wonderful place where you can buy candy. They do, I gotta use my hands because that's what I do. I'm not even Italian. But they have the thing in the window where they make the saltwater taffy. They make the saltwater taffy, and it's that thing in the window that goes like this. So cool to look at. And they have a marble ice cream counter and at the Goldenrod Kisses in Maine, in York Beach, Maine, where you can get a Panucci Sundae. Now, for you people who don't know what Panucci is one of my favorite sweets. It's basically a brown sugar-based fudge that you really only can get in New England. Every time I ask for Panucci in other places across the country, even down near like the Jersey Shore, everybody doesn't know what it is. But the fact that you can get a Panucci Sundae at the Goldenrod Kisses in York Beach, Maine, that's one of my favorite places in Maine too. Little shout out about Maine, Peter and Candy. Hey, I see you watching, and you guys have sent me a lot of tips about Maine. I know you guys love to go there, and I'm talking about places that we all love to go to in Maine, or I love to go to, hope you will too, and we can plan for the future to go there. So there's a place and there's a food, because this is Fave's Future, the food, I don't know, whatever. Another place I love to go to in Maine that I hope you all are able to discover later in the season is the Maine Idol Motor Court. This is north of the town where LL Bean is, and it's an absolutely adorable little place that has like those, I always call them, what do I always call them? Like little Monopoly houses. They're called cabin courts or motor courts, and it's like when you go to a motel and they have the little houses that you can stay in yourself. And they are just so adorable. It's just one of those old school places that you can go and stay. You get your own tiny little, we've got some pictures. It's on retroroadmap.com. Got some pictures of the little houses you can stay in, and it's just a really cool, adorable place. So that's the Maine Idol, I-D-Y-L-L, like kind of idyllic. That's what the name comes from. So that's another place in Maine that I love. Moxie Fest. So this may be a bit controversial because I know not everybody may like Moxie, but Moxie is, well, I would call it a tonic because I'm from New England. Moxie is like a soda that is kind of an unusual taste, but it's not as bad as you think. And so they have this festival in, oh crap, another place in Maine. I'll put the link down in the bottom, I promise. I want to say Camden, but it's not Camden. And anyhow, Moxie, they have a Moxie Fest in the middle of the summer where they celebrate the fact that Moxie was created there. And I love this for a couple of reasons, not just for the fact that Moxie is kind of an interesting, unusual drink to drink, but also because it's a place that took whatever they had was, you know, what they were famous for. I'm thinking like here in Phoenixville, we have the Blob, we have Blob Fest, and they took Moxie and they actually are like, yo, we make Moxie, let's do a thing about it. So anytime a place or a person can say, what makes me unusual and different, thank you. Retro Roadhusband just told me it was in Lisbon, Maine, so thank you, hun. Love you. And so Moxie Fest in Lisbon, Maine is another thing that in the summer you should go to because it's wicked fun. You can try Moxie. They actually have all sorts of Moxie things you can make with it, like cakes and stuff. Like there was a taste test there. And I love seeing this. If everybody, hopefully you're looking at me, but my face is not going to change much through the whole thing. Maybe it will. Don't know. However, and yeah, that's kind of weird. My face is so big on the screen. So, gee, I know Moxie is kind of spicy. It's kind of spicy. You know, spice it up. Maybe add some rum to it. I don't know. Wacky times call for wacky drinks. But make sure to take a look at the suggestions that other people are putting in the comments. Because this is the thing I was talking about with connection. Like, you all can connect to me, but I'm just like a hub. But the spokes are where it's at. So, like, you know, Mary Beth is talking about Freeport, and you're right. Freeport is where the Maine Idol is. And the Palace Diner, yes, the Palace Diner. Alyssa's mentioning the Palace. That is a great place. We went there. I know that Red's Eats is someplace that Alyssa's mentioning, and also, Peter and Candy also rave about that. And so it's, ooh, Mark Stein is mentioning the High Hat Pancake House in Farmingdale. Now, see, here's the deal. I love this kind of interaction because I've never heard of it. I will go Google it and pop it on my map. But now you all know about this place in Maine too. So keep it going, people. So those are some places in Maine that I would love to recommend. The other thing too, I got a question about this. I think it was on Instagram, but I thought I would give a shout out. Because speaking of Maine, she doesn't know I'm doing this, but my friend Bettina, she has a company called Stringin' Along With Me, and it's based in Portland, Maine. Now, Portland's a really cool place, and she not only is, like myself, married to a musician, but she also makes jewelry. And the cool thing about her jewelry is, and you'll see the earrings, this is not a paid infomercial, I'm just sharing it because I think it's really cool. These earrings are made out of used guitar strings. So I thought of this before when I would see Cliff, like changing his guitar strings and he wraps them up and I'm like, ooh, that could be a cool bracelet. But you know what? I didn't do it because I just don't craft. However, she did. So Bettina Clark, Stringin' Along With Me in Portland, Maine. I will put a link to her thing, her website in the comments afterwards, because she made these earrings that I always get compliments on. Let me see if I can do this. And they're made out of, really, I had her make a lighter pair for me. And I have a funny story about her making a pair for me, but because I lost one actually, and she was awesome and sent me some new ones. But they're made out of recycled guitar strings. And these ones actually, she was cool enough to call this style, this version, the Mod Betty, which I love. Kind of like the cocktail that I made up called the Mod Betty, which we can talk about maybe, if we do like a happy hour, one of these. And so that's just another fun thing about Maine that I love too. So they're really light for heavy, for big earrings. I have no earlobes, so anything, hangs down. Do your ears hang low? So that's Maine. So thank you everybody for putting a lot of these suggestions in the comments. I hope people follow up with them. And thank you for the kind words about my earrings. Jeremy Ebersole from the SEA just chimed in. And here's me, if people hadn't noticed, who are just climbing in, I don't even know what that means. Chiming in, tuning in. I'm doing this from my phone because I think it gives better resolution than when I was doing it from my computer. But because I'm doing it from my phone, things are backwards. So this is the Q&A section. See, I wrote that backwards technically. So here's a time. Let me see. It was supposed to be pink. Yeah, this is different. So it's the Q&A section, everybody. So if you have any questions for Mod Betty, feel free to put them in the comments. I will take a quick half second and take a look and see if anybody has got some, because I actually have to, let me see. I don't even know how, I'm trying to look at the comments here on my computer. I thought it'd be easier and it's actually more difficult. Keep those Maine comments coming so everybody can learn, so we can all plan on going to Maine after this craziness is over, and spend our money in the places that we love. This should be my little soapbox instead of my Q&A thing. Okay, let's see. I'm going to take a look at the comments. I see one right now that while I'm doing this, and pardon me if I'm not making that, eye contact. I keep on looking here and not there. But Donna Fisher-Wilhelm, who is a neighbor here in Phoenixville, is asking me about, has anyone shown any interest in buying the Fisherman? For folks who don't know it, the Fisherman is a restaurant that had been here since the early 60s, and it suddenly closed, I want to say like last January. And sadly, here's my take on the Fisherman. I don't have any official information, but what I will say is this: it's family owned and operated. They own the land, they own the restaurant, and they decided to close, and they make the calls as to even if they want to offer it for sale. I have heard nothing about it. I have always said for years that if I won the lottery, I would make that like the Retro Roadmap, my like office where I could be working in the background. People could come and hang out at the counter, because the inside of that place is like walking into a time warp. It's so amazing. And even though it's beige, and as you can see from the color of the walls in my house and the random stuff that we have around, I am sucker for color. But I don't know about I don't know about any future plans for the Fisherman, but I'll keep you posted. Let me think. Okay, so what else do we have here? Yes, Mark Stein. I've seen the Hawks Plaza sign. I think that is a place is that like a venue or something where people can go see music? I think Sean Mencher, who is Bettina Clark's husband, plays there. Could be totally wrong, but it is a very cool looking sign. Somebody else asked about Roadside America. So Roadside America, well, honestly, here's the weird thing about doing like a retro roadmap thing now or talking about any businesses. Right now, as we speak, like pretty much everything is closed, as we know. But in theory, if this was regular times, I would say that as far as I know, Roadside America is still open. Now, Roadside America, for those of you who don't know, is a somewhat local. It's in Hamburg. No, it's in, what is it called? Charlottesville, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour north of where I am, just outside of Philadelphia. And it is this wonderful, like, time capsule within a time capsule within a time capsule. And it is it's got trains running around it, and it's somebody's version of like what old-timey America used to be. It's family owned. It's been in the same family for generations, and sadly it needs a lot of repairs, and the older generation is getting up there in age, maybe wants to retire. The younger generation isn't sure what to do with it, and they aren't getting a lot of people going there, so business has fallen off. So they are asking for it to be for sale, but for now, at least I think it's open. So when things return to normal, which they will, we got to remember to support the places we love. Even during these times, we should be supporting the mom and pops and the little local businesses and stuff. Yes, Mary Beth, I think you asked earlier, and I apologize because I'm still trying to figure out, I can scroll down here if you don't mind. Yes, so Mary Beth asked if I was in Phoenixville. Yes, I am in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Retro Roadhusband and I live here, and we've been happily living here for about 15 years. And we just love living here. It was the scariest decision to move here, but one of the best decisions. So a little just drive your lifing. Where's my card? Here's my deal, because it's going to be backwards, but I wrote it forwards. Make those scary decisions that you've been scared to do. Just do them, because I can't imagine if I was stuck in this situation in the world where I used to live. I'd be so unhappy. It would just be miserable. Roadside America isn't closed. Sue. Yeah, so our front door does kind of look like a speakeasy. We aren't letting anybody in unless Joe sent us, you know what I mean? And now I feel like I'm totally channeling Minnie Biggles. I don't know if you're still on here. But yeah, so we're self-quarantining because we had been in Florida last week. We seem totally fine, but the last thing I want to do is inadvertently get anybody sick. But I'm pretty much a hermit anyway, so hanging out at home is fun for me. And if I can entertain you guys who are not used to being home, then that's what I'm here for. Okay, let's see. God bless America. I apologize. I thought I could do this from my phone. Okay, so thank you for the questions. I'll do more Q&As in a bit, so stay tuned. If you have any more questions, just please put them in the comments. Again, it's Maud Betty from Retro Roadmap at the Hacienda, trying to keep you entertained during this crazy time. And I'm seeing a delayed video of myself there, and it looks like I should probably not be moving my hands around so much. Anyhow, so the next section of the show, I feel like I'm a little kid, like putting on a show. Maud Betty's Bookcase. Did I write that down? No, I didn't. Oh, I did. Here, let me see if this worked. So it has to be backwards because, check me out. Maud Betty's Bookcase. Okay, so here's the deal. I am actually, you can't see it because it's off camera, but I'm surrounded by 2 giant bookcases filled with books, and I thought that it would be great to kind of maybe randomly pull a book off of the shelves to share with you, Retro Roadmap related. So one quick thing I wanted to hip you guys to. So the folks that tuned in on Tuesday, my very first video, I mentioned a book called Overground Railroad that I had just started reading. It's new. It was recommended to me by Rick Seaback from WQED, and I was watching it. I was reading it last night instead of watching TV or whatever, and it's such a good book. I have it right here in case you want to see what the cover looks like. And again, this isn't like a promo, like I'm not getting paid to do this, but this is a really good book. So interesting about the Green Book and how it allowed people some freedom, black people some freedom in the early part of the 20th century and beyond to drive around with the autonomy of their own cars. And the reason I'm showing you this is, again, is for a couple of reasons. As you can see, because it's kind of glary, this is the library version, Phoenixville Library. Oh, actually Chester County. Which is great. But you know what I decided this morning was this is such a good book that I want to have a copy of it for my own library. So what I did this morning in that whole, like, what can I do in this time of crisis to help people is I signed on to Reads and Company, which is the local bookstore here in Phoenixville, that friends of ours own. And I purchased a copy of this for myself to be sent to me. They are closed because of the quarantine, but they are doing online orders. So here's the thing where I feel like I'm helping an author who has a book. She sold a copy. I'm helping a local business who's one that I love. And, you know, they've got a sale. Every little bit helps. Like if everybody does that, they're going to have a lot of sales. And then the other thing too is when I get that book, I'll return this one to the library so that somebody else can read it. As I mentioned, I love the fact that it's one of those, it looks like it's a big, heavy, like, you know, very heavy, wordy book, but I just love how it's designed. There's just some really fun layouts and things like that. So again, that's a book that I'm reading now. Let me make sure. Oh yeah. You can always use your old, your vintage postcard collection. They also are handy book, whatever you call them. Things that make you remember where you, bookmarks. This is why I'm not on real TV, people, because I stumble and bumble. But here's a book that I just literally pulled off my things. So here's one. Did anybody here have it? Can you see it? Trying to get it not glary. So this is a book called Motel California. Welcome to the Motel California. It's by Heather David, who I had the lovely pleasure of meeting at the Society for Commercial Archaeology 40th anniversary in Cincinnati. And this book is so magnificent. It's a labor of love. She's not, you know, doing this full time, but she loves all the old motels and things in California. So she put together this history. There's words in it too. I'm just picking out random pages. But this is an absolutely gorgeous book. Coffee table worthy. Motel California. Oh, I forgot she wrote something to me because I ordered it from her. Again, you got to support the people you love. Yeah, we're kindred spirits. So, Motel California by Heather David. I believe if you go to, and again, I'm just saying this because I want to connect you guys. I'm not getting paid for any of this, nor, you know, if I was, that would be cool, but I'm not. I'm just doing it because I love to share. Yes, Jeremy Ebersol, woo, SCA. I think it's called ModCal Books or something. Oh, CalMod, excuse me, calmodbooks.com. I'll put a link to this in the comments after we're all done. But this is just a random book. Ooh, that's the back of it. Isn't that nice? This is a book from Maud Betty's bookshelf, Motel California by Heather David. Yes, Alyssa, you should. So yeah, so this is from Maud Betty's bookshelf. And I'm getting all kinds of... So that was Maud Betty's bookshelf. I feel like a little kid and I already lost it. So, that was Maud Betty's bookcase. All right. So a couple of people are chiming in talking about the SCA. And just real quick, the SCA is the Society for Commercial Archaeology. And how I explain this to people is pretty much prior to the internet, when you wanted to know about what I call cool vintage places and retro fun, you would join the SCA and there would be newsletters and things that go out. It still exists to this day. It's a wonderful group of people. If you want to connect with like minds, what I call retro road mappers, all of us, and you know, go on some really fun adventures together, the Society for Commercial Archaeology is a great place to start. So that's what that's all about. Excuse me. Alyssa, you should renew. It's a good thing to do. And Rich Wilhelm is chiming in to say, here's a way music is help for Bandcamp is passing on their fees to the bands and artists. So here, I don't know. Do we have a special guest? I don't know. It just seems like the time to bring in a special guest. I don't know. because Rich Wilhelm is talking about Bandcamp and stuff. So I don't even have a card for special guest. Da 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 da. Here, got a special guest, everybody. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So this guy. So he's not going to be on here for that long, but I just wanted to show everybody. Here, look, it's show and tell.
I'm here. I exist. Hello.
So this is Retro Roadhusband Cliff Hillis. He is a musician, and he is also the guy who's painting my office, and that's why I'm in the living room here. And I just wanted him to chime in because you're the one who told me that things were going to be backwards.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like when I was doing this.
The things you learn when you do the Facebook Live.
Yeah. Was there anything else? Like if there's somebody else watching here who wanted to do Facebook Live?
I'm still trying to figure out because I like via the computer it does seem to kind of be a little more pixely, and the phone just seems to be the best way. I'm still trying to get an audio thing into my phone, so I have a fancy mic. But yeah, it sounds good. Looks good.
Hey, everybody's saying hi to you. See that?
Hi everybody.
There, here, quick, sing a song.
Sing a song. That's all I'm gonna sing.
Okay.
I sang the song.
Okay, cool. So.
Whoa, my Betty, man.
No, don't sing that. Forget you even heard that. That's just goofy stuff. So this is Cliff. I promised there would be a special guest mainly because, well, we're stuck in the house together and he's in the other room. Everybody's saying hey to you. And this is not like he's doing a Facebook Live on Sunday, a brunch thing. You want to tell him about that?
Gonna hang out, sing some songs over in the other room. And on Sunday, 1 p.m. till whenever.
Yeah.
And, come on, hang out, have a cocktail. Join me virtually.
Yeah.
From a safe distance.
From a safe distance, exactly. Rich Wilhelm just posted your inside passenger, too. That's
Thank
his new
you,
thing.
Rich. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and listen to all this informative stuff that you've been telling me.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Yes.
And then maybe you can paint my
Yeah, I'm going
office.
to paint the room.
Okay, cool. So, yeah. So that was our special guest star. I don't know who else we're going to have since we're quarantined, but maybe it'll be like Retro Roadhusband in a thing. You know what? There might be some ELO songs, right? If somebody, here's the deal. What we're telling people, and I'll put the link to Cliff's, his Facebook Live. I'll put the link to that in the show notes or what show notes. Like I know what I'm doing. That's so podcasty of me. I just listen to them. I don't do a podcast yet. I'll put a link to his Facebook Live in the comments afterwards. And if you comment on his thing to put in requests, he will most likely do that. Michael Hirsch. It looks like we've got the whole fam dambly here as far as Society for Commercial Archaeology. His ears must have been burning because he and I have been talking about trying to get people together to go to some New Jersey diners once this thing blows over. So yes, I was just singing the praises of the Society for Commercial Archaeology that we all should be supporting, and it's just another way to support the places that you love, the retro road map worthy places. So let's see. We've done some faves future. Maybe we'll do this again. If you have any questions for, if you have any questions for Maud Betty, put them in the comments. I promise to get to them. I'm trying to not be distracted by them while they happen because I would just be all over the place. Hey, Dennis Shockett just showed up. I'm cracking up because I just said I wasn't going to get distracted and I just got distracted. So anyhow, so what else do I have here? So we did Maud Bettys Bookcase, Collection Corner. So somebody on Instagram asked to see some of the collections that we have. Oh my gosh, Mini Biggles. Oh my God, I gotta focus. That would be a great idea. I can interview people through the window. That would be awesome. Thank you, Michael Lauren Hirsch. I was telling people at the top of the hour, as we used to say in college radio, that doing this video forced me to actually take a shower and put on some makeup today. So thank you guys for making me get out of my bathrobe. So that's what that was. So Collection Corner. Different theme song. Oh, wait. Collection Corner. Welcome to Collection Corner. So here's an interesting thing. Again, you can't see it because it's off screen, but I have 2 bookcases on either side of me filled with books and random stuff. On top of these bookcases, I have a huge collection of snow globes. Well, some of them have snow in them. You know, I picked out a good one here earlier. Snow globes. Take 2. So I have been collecting these, for a wicked long time, as we would say up in Massachusetts. And they're just so much fun, and you really honestly don't see them that much anymore. You see certain ones, and but I am kind of particular about it. If anybody here is a collector, you know what I mean when you get into a groove of certain things you like. And so here's the deal with Maud Betty and her snow globe collection. One is I have well over 100. I haven't counted them late. You know, I'll count them, and if we do another video, I'll tell you how much I have. Excuse me, how many I have. But the ones that I like ideally are like these ones. So plastic. I like the plastic ones. I also like the plastic ones, like the glass ones are too fancy, too fragile. I like the ones that are kind of ticky-tacky, as they say. So plastic, bright colors. They have some of the ones that are black plastic, the more new ones. They're okay. Like I bought one when I was on Route 66. That was okay. But my favorite ones are probably these unusually shaped ones. And this one actually, let me see if I can do this. March. What day is today? Anyhow, this one it can double as a calendar. And then also, if you want to save just a little bit of money, you can put like quarters and stuff in. Nickels, nickels, nickels. You can put right there. And then here's a thing. Jeffrey Gaines, nice to see you. You need a mobile camera to follow you around. Well, ask and you shall receive, Suji. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'll give it a shot. So here we go. I'm going to get back. Okay, I can't even. Okay, but see, I wasn't lying when I was like, there's all my snow domes. And they're alphabetical. I won't, but see, I've got all those ones. Don't mind the dust. And then we hop over to the other one. And let me see if I can do this, because I can't even see. Whoa. And we've got these ones. There you go. Yeah. So that's the Maud Betty Snow Dome collection. So, yeah, I've been trying to cut down on my collecting, but it is it's a hard habit to break. And so, yeah, it's not dust, it's snow. I remember once one of these broke, and I joked that I needed to get a really small shovel, you know, to like shovel all the snow. So the ones I like the best, and actually I got one from Sue who's in here now. It's on my oven that has a can of Spam in it. I gotta get a better one. No offense to this one. Well, here's a really cute one. I like the small ones that are dome shaped and with the blue on the back and the little things. And yes, and that was a Tom Ransom sculpture in the background too. So Maud Betty in Collection Corner has her snow globes. One thing I actually, here's kind of a mindful zen, almost like a, where did I put that card? Okay, so I have this thing that I'm doing called Just Drive Your Life, where I'm trying to help people kind of get to where they want to go to, including myself, because I've found some things that have helped me. This is not an infomercial, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea. So I ended up getting a, oh my God, I love it when people text me. Oh my gosh, this is silly. Oh goodness. I'm going to learn how to shut off the texts when I do this next time. But anyhow, so here's the deal. I downloaded an app to try to help me like calm down. If you know, it's actually called Calm. I'm not necessarily recommending it because I just downloaded it. But the one thing I thought was pretty neat that I got out of that was, you know, kind of when we're all dealing with the stress of this time and the uncertainty, it was talking about calming your brain. And I think about that a lot, like kind of like just sitting there with the windows up in your car and just kind of breathing deeply. And the woman who was doing this little guided meditation thing talked about how your brain can be like a snow globe. And when your thoughts are churning and they're all like this, it's really hard to focus, stuff like that. But if you calm your mind, if you breathe deeply and you let the snow settle, then you can see what's going on much clearer. And as I said, like, I'm not necessarily like a hardcore, like, self-help guru-y type person, but when you relate it to something that I can relate to, like a snow globe, I totally get that, you know, that it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, breathe deeply. And then the snow settles. Breathe deep, and we all feel calm. So that was my little Just Drive Your Life thing that was associated with my snow globe collection. But I have plenty more collections around, so if I do future episodes of this, first of all, let me know if you think this is fun or interesting. If the time is good, it seems to work for me and other people. If you'd like me to do this, but definitely put that in the comments there. But I have plenty more stuff to show folks like that. Another thing I wanted to do is, you know, so let's see. I'm gonna quickly review and see if anybody has any questions. Yes, Suji, martini equals calm. Here's a thing that I'm doing with some friends, and I'll just throw it out to you guys, is we're having a virtual cocktail, a virtual happy hour with some pals. We're going to try out Zoom and see how that goes. So yeah, we can drink together without being together. So I figure, here's my deal. I figure it will be a good excuse for me to refresh my memory on how to use Zoom, since I have not used it in so long. So why not build a skill while drinking alone in your house? I don't know. Thank you. Yes, okay. I'm glad somebody else likes my collections. What else? Thank you for nice paintings. Yep. Mary Beth is asking me, what are my favorite hangouts in Phoenixville? You mean besides my own house? I kid. I do love hanging around my own house and my neighborhood. I mean, we are really blessed here. And because we moved here, it was scary for us to move to the Hacienda when we did, but we managed to make it work. And I think I said this on Tuesday, but I'll say it again. It was scary to move here. We just kind of leapt into what we didn't know, and yet it has worked out so much that I'm telling you, people, do the things that you're afraid of, because sometimes they are going to be the things that you look back and you're most proud of, you know? So we moved to Phoenixville. We love it here. And some of my favorite places to hang out would be, total shout out to Steel City Coffee House. They're temporarily closed right now, but they were having a flash sale on some of their produce and things that were going to go bad. I am indebted to them to no end, because when Retro Roadhusband Cliff Hillis, that you just saw a few minutes ago, is recording drums in the back, in the basement, the drums are set up literally right under my office. So I have such a hard time concentrating to write. Writing is not my forte. It does not flow easily to me. However, it really doesn't flow easily when somebody's banging on drums in the basement. So Steel City Coffee House in Phoenixville, you will often see me. I have written many parts of many of my Retro Roadmap books sitting there with them. Love their tomato sandwiches. They also support live music. And Ed and Laura are just wonderful people. So we are so lucky to have that place in town. The Colonial Theater, which made us move here, we totally love them. I will tell you that the fact that this town had a downtown movie theater totally made us uproot ourselves and move to a place that supported that, because I'm a firm believer in putting your money where your heart is. You know, you can give things like lip service, but really, you know, to me, it's so important to support the things you love. And I thought, well, if this town loves their downtown movie theater, and they were doing some really fun things with it, you know, like Blob Fest, and we saw Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and then that's when my Boston accent comes out, and somebody was playing like the live organ music to it. I was like, damn, these are the kind of people we want to hang with. So we moved from Delaware and moved to here to Phoenixville. Teresa Haig is an awesome artist. She has a gallery here in town. She is so great. She's a wonderful community asset, and she and I actually hang around every Monday and challenge ourselves to make sure we get stuff done. So Teresa Haig, Steel City, where else do I love to go? There's so many places. Artifact. So Artifact, ARTIFAQT, Google it. I'll put it in the notes. But John Lutman actually is a hidden, like he makes some really cool like woodwork and things like that right here on Main Street. He's been here for forever, kind of hidden in plain sight, right across the street. But so check him out. Lulu, I love the girls from Lulu. Whole Lot of Lulu is what they do. They do a vintage flea market in Phoenixville twice a year. And I love they do that because that's something I wanted to have happen in Phoenixville. And I'll be honest, I love having creative ideas myself, but I love it even more when somebody else executes them because I cannot do them all. Retro Road Map and like Mid-Mod Map and this, full time for me, and I love it. But I love it when things that I want to happen because other people want to have them happen too. So those are just a few Phoenixville things. Yes, Alyssa just mentioned there's a Phoenix trivet that they make at Artifact, which is really cool. And yep, there's a record store here too. So you know what, check it out. This doesn't have to be like an infomercial for Phoenixville, but yeah, it's great. And so think about too, when you're able to get out of your house after this kind of scenario, I'm hoping that it will remind us all to really focus on what's important for us and to support the places we love. Like even right now, we are ordering out. I mean, we're probably going to gain 10 pounds easy, but it's worth it because we're trying to support the local businesses downtown a little bit every day. Like today, you know, as I said, I ordered a book from Reeds and Company, our bookstore. I love them too. I actually was going to go donate some food to the food pantry. And then I realized I looked online and they aren't accepting food donations at the moment. But so they said, but we could use money. So like I, you know, gave them a little bit online. And every day I'm writing down like how we're helping and connecting up with people. So remember that just because you're stuck inside doesn't mean you can't make a difference in the community that you love or the things that you care about. So I don't want to say I challenge you to do it, but this is what I'm trying to do every day to kind of keep my sanity, regain control, and know that I'm making a positive difference. So there's some fun things there. I'm seeing all sorts of people chiming in. So this is so cool. I'm seeing people from old, you know, trips that we've gone to and neighbors, and this is just wonderful. So this is Maud Betty. Oh my gosh, we only have about 15 or so minutes left. So any more questions for Maud Betty, feel free to put them in the comments. And then also, if you want me to do this more, I'm more than happy to do it because I think it's so important to connect people. And also, even if I'm not mentioning something, because I'm sure I will probably get, it's kind of boring to look at me here. You can look at the stuff beside me. But anyhow, but you can see the other things that other people are recommending and the people that you may live near that you may have connections with that you didn't know about it, but you're all meeting here in the comments section. So this is why I'm doing this type of thing. What else did I have on my list here? We did the things, bookcase, Oh, well, here's a kind of a goofy one, but so I mentioned the phrase infomercial a few moments ago, and this is totally not an infomercial, but I gotta share with you. Here's the thing: I was walking around the house being like, what can I share with people online? And so there's two things from my kitchen that I want to share with you. So one thing is, this is kind of a transition. So when I go out to retro road map worthy places, I love souvenirs, as you can tell with the snow globes and stuff. But nowadays I'm trying to focus on ones that are actually functional. So for example, like I have a chip clip, and these are so like hardcore, like ouch, you know, these are really good ones. I got this one at Tom Sturgis Pretzels up in Schillinger, which is right near Schilling something, right? It's south of Reading. Sorry, I'm not articulate, but I'm talking anyway. So I love these, but check this out. So Alyssa Hilton, are you still on? Because I want to give you a whatever this is that the kids do. So Alyssa is a local neighbor of mine, and she asked me in the fall if I would like to accompany her out to Pittsburgh to go see this Mr. Rogers exhibit and presentation at WQED, and also the Heinz, yay, you're in there, the Heinz Museum. We were able to meet up with Brian Butko, then we were there. Thank you, everybody. Shillington. I said Schillinger because Kathy Schillinger is related to me, and I get confused. And yes, jazz hands all the time. Yes, I gave you jazz hands. I didn't do like what, I don't even know how to raise the roof, though there is a lot of ceiling there. I gave you jazz hands. So Alyssa and I went on a road trip, and we went out to some fabulous places. We went to WQED. We met Rick Seebeck, who I mentioned before, who does those great shows called like Sandwiches You Will Like and things like that. But we also went to the Strip District. Now, for those of you who have not been to Pittsburgh, there's nothing strippery about it. It's just called the Strip District because it's a long strip. And we were walking along, and we went into a kitchen store. Now, I do not cook well, nor am I inspired to it, but I am a sucker for kitchen stuff that is a bright color. As you can see from behind me, I like things of color, so I thought this would be a fun thing to show you. So while we were there, get my little backstage here. So when we were there, I saw the whole like bouquet of these things like this. And I was like, ooh, what are those? Like, they're colorful. I don't even know what they are. And these are, and Alyssa knows because she was there, they're called grip sticks. I'll put the link in the thing if anybody's interested because I think they're fabulous. So what this is actually like a really well-designed chip clip. And what you do is, all you do is, that's a quote from Velveteen Lounge Kitchen, is like you take your, hey Holly, nice to see you. You take your bag, like pretend this is filled with chips. Now we wouldn't have a bag of chips in the Hacienda because two things. If we had one, it would be eaten, and because it would be eaten, we just don't carry them. We don't carry them. We don't buy them. But all you do is you take your bag, right? You fold it over, and then you just kind of put this along in it, and you go like this. And then instead of just getting like the one part of the bag and you have to fold it up, it like does the whole thing. So I just thought that was such a cool thing. I am such a sucker for things that are like well designed and solve a problem. And I can't remember the cool kitchen store too. Oh, you got a multi-purpose spreader. And I'm so glad I'm not the only one who has these. I gave some to my sister. They come in all different sizes. I will admit I got some that are a little bit too big, but they're small ones for little bags. So grip sticks, they're cheap, they're colorful, like me, waka waka, but they're also really handy. So that's a handy kind of souvenir for my trip out to Pittsburgh. So there's that. And the other one quick thing I wanted to show you too, because this is kind of on the other end of the spectrum, is because I was in the kitchen too. So it's not a hat. It could be a hat. But I don't know. This is the first time. Have you guys ever seen these? So this was something that I bought at a car show when I was at a vintage car show, and there was this lady doing all these kind of cool crafts. And what this is, and I also got one when I was on Route 66 because there was a gift shop that was selling like handmade stuff, and I totally love that. This is like kind of a quilted thingy. That's the official term. That you put your bowl in, and then when you put it in the microwave, you can pull it out of the microwave from the little things, the little edges, and then you can sit it down and you can eat from it. Now, this appeals to me greatly, not only because of the wonderful kind of vintage-inspired Route 66-ness, and this is kind of kitchen-y, but this is also just so freaking handy. For those of us who don't really cook, but we also microwave things in bowls and then eat them in front of our computers while we're checking Facebook. So those were a few things from the Hacienda kitchen that Maud Betty thought it was important to show you guys. So yes, that and those ones, honestly, I don't know how you get them. So the neat thing is you can be on the lookout when you go to like little craft sales at like the firehouse or churches and stuff. I have another really cool thing. Well, I won't get into it, but there's all sorts of cool, fun things you can buy at those crafty things. And they are so, I just love things that are like useful and handy. Tea towels are also a great thing. I bought a tea towel when we were in Florida because you can also just put them on your lap when you're in the car so you don't get like, stuff all over you. So those are a few things I was sharing. And it looks like we have about 6 minutes left. So here's what I would like to do. Is if anybody is interested, you can shoot me an email. You don't have to put it in the comments. You can message me on Facebook, whatever, however it works for you. If you like me showing up and kind of doing a lot of jazz hands and stuff, and maybe informing you or sharing or connecting, I would be so happy to do this as much as you guys want me to or need me to, because I think it's so important, because it's gonna feel weirder and weirder as things go on. And so it's neat to kind of have a reason, maybe even, as I said earlier, a reason to get up and put on real clothes. I was thinking about this too. I'm going to challenge you all to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go to this meeting. Like, show up here and actually make sure you're not in your pajamas. You know, if you need a push to get out of your pajamas, this might be it. Did I have any? Oh yeah, that was the handy stuff from the Hacienda. I forgot about that. Those were my handy stuff at the Hacienda part of the show. And handmade too. Sue, you're so right about the handmade. When I was on Route 66, I realized that there was so much manufactured stuff. So many gift shops and so many you want to support, but so much stuff was manufactured overseas, and you saw the same things over and over again, that I really looked for things that were different. So like when I saw that little bowl holder in I think it was in Illinois, I'm not sure, but I totally picked that up because you knew pretty much the old lady behind the counter had made it for you. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just kind of sign off for now, but I will say this. So I was checking this out. This is my little Drive Your Life thing. So ever play the game of life? So this is my little life car, and sometimes I feel like our lives are kind of like our cars, and at the moment we're all kind of parked in our parking lots. We're all kind of parked in our driveways. Like, we all want to go places, both physically and also kind of metaphorically, but we're kind of parked. But what I would suggest to you is, while we're parked in our driveways and we really can't go anyplace in reality, that doesn't mean you let your car get in bad shape. So make sure you're drinking enough water and eating, like, put some gas in your tank. Make sure you're eating healthy foods. We could easily carb load during this time that we're home. And make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Make sure that you're also planning for fun things to do in the future. Just because you're parked now does not mean you can't get into drive soon and get back on the road. And then also just, keep your engine in good shape. Think of those things you want to do. Maybe start some good habits, do some yoga or walking around, or just, connect with people. Use this opportunity while you're parked in your driveway to, focus on being the best version of yourself you can be. So I think it's probably good to sign off. Excellent. So real quick, I'm going to sign off, but everybody, make sure you look at the comments here, because people are giving some really good suggestions and stuff that I may be missing because I'm too busy trying to make eye contact with this thing up here. But see what other people have recommended. Thank them for it. Maybe interact a little bit. I will put some links to some of the things I discussed down in the comments. And yeah, you know what? I don't know who will show up, but I will promise to do this again, maybe next Tuesday. Tuesday and Thursday sounds good. I don't want to overwhelm people, but I also want to be available if you want to just hang out. If you think about things you want to ask me or talk about in future meetings like this, I don't want to call them episodes, but you can write them in the comments below or send them to me before Tuesday. And I'd be more than happy to do this, because you know what? We're all in this together. It's all a weird situation, but because I am kind of a hub, I want to make sure that I'm connecting all the spokes, because we are really all connected. Probably now we realize it more than ever before, not just here, but across the world. So let's make a good thing happen to this connection, okay? Yay, I'm seeing some good stuff. Happy first day of spring, everybody. And thank you, Sue, for reminding me of that, because it's kind of gloomy outside. But you know what? I'm going to go for a walk after this, 6 feet or more away from people. I'm going to look for the daffodils. I'm going to be happy with the, every little bit of spring that we have that's popping up. So, thank you, Emily. Well, you know what? Again, I am here for you guys. We are all here in this together. So I think my catchphrase for signing off is going to be just drive your life. Even though you may be in your driveway now, soon enough, we're all going to get back on the road to drive in the direction of our dreams. And I know that sounds a little bit too hokey, because then I'm going to pitch something to you afterwards. But seriously, guys, just we're all in this together. Let's make the best of it. And I will set up an invite for the one on Tuesday. So sign up and like that to remind it. And this is kind of a goofy joke from my friends who don't even watch TV, but they were like, subscribe. So Kate, that goes out to you and Mike and Thad and Ivy and James. Subscribe. And I don't even know what that means. But all right, I'm going to sign off now, you guys. All the best. And just drive your life, okay?